Hi, Turbo Boy. Do you remember how to spell and write numbers from 0 to 10?
Yes, of course I do. I can also recognize if the spelling of a number is wrong.
Good. Today, we are going to compare numbers.
Compare numbers? What do you mean?
Before I explain all about comparing numbers, let us take a look at something else. I have put some sweets into two groups.
Oh, my favorite sweets.
Alright, Turbo Boy, which group will you want to have?
This one, of course.
Why, Turbo Boy?
That's simple. There are more sweets and I can eat them for a longer time.
Okay, now before you can eat them, can you count the number of sweets for me?
Sure, there is one sweet here, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4 sweets there.
Now do you think you can tell me which number is bigger? 1 or 4?
Of course, the number 4 is bigger, because 4 sweets are more than 1 sweet. 4 is bigger than 1.
Correct. If 4 is bigger than 1, then 1 is smaller than 4. Look at how easy comparing numbers is. We use words like bigger and smaller to compare numbers. Let's compare the number 6 and the number 9.
I need some objects to help compare the numbers.
Use these blocks, Turbo Boy.
I lay out 6 blocks for the number 6 and 9 blocks for the number 9. Looking at the blocks, 9 blocks are more than 6 blocks. I can tell then that 9 is bigger than 6. And 6 blocks are less than 9 blocks, so 6 is smaller than 9.
Turbo Boy, if we show the numbers using blocks, we will get this picture. This way, we can always remember which number is bigger or smaller than the other. For example, when we compare 3 and 5, we can see that 3 is smaller than 5, and 5 is bigger than 3.
But teacher, what happens when there are no blocks?
Well, Turbo Boy, you'll soon be able to compare numbers without blocks in no time at all. You just need more practice at comparing numbers.
Come in, teacher. This is my classroom. This is where I study. Oh dear, what a mess. Why are all the desks and chairs all over the place? What shall I do?
Not to worry, Turbo Boy. Why don't I help you arrange these desks and chairs?
That sounds like a wonderful idea. I'm going to put this chair with this desk and this other chair with this desk. All done. Whoa, the place looks neater. What are all these extra chairs doing here? Where are the other desks?
Well, Turbo Boy, there are no more desks to go with these chairs. This means that there are more chairs than desks.
Yes, since there are more chairs than desks, I can also say that there are less desks than chairs.
Yes, you can, Turbo Boy. That is why we are not able to match all the chairs to these desks. There are 2 more chairs than desks in the classroom.
I see. I know that 4 is more than 1, but how do I find out how many more?
Well, we can draw squares to represent the numbers and then compare the squares to find out. From the drawing, we can tell that 4 is 3 more than 1. Since 1 is less than 4, we can say that 1 is 3 less than 4.
Oh, I understand now. Let me try. When I compare 7 and 2, I draw 7 squares for 7 and 2 squares for 2. From my drawing, I can tell that 7 is 5 more than 2, and 2 is 5 less than 7.
Very good, Turbo Boy. That's correct.
Teacher, after all that hard work, I'm suddenly feeling quite hungry. May I go get something to eat?
You are right. I'm feeling rather hungry myself. Why don't you go get the food while I go find a place for us to sit?
I'm going to get some fish balls, hot dogs, and some fruits for us.
Wow, there are a lot of food. There are 3 fish balls, 4 hot dogs, and 5 strawberries. Turbo Boy, before we start eating, do you remember the lesson on comparing numbers?
Yes, when we compare numbers, we only look at 2 numbers.
Let's look at the number of hot dogs and fish balls. If we match each hot dog to a fish ball, we can see that there is 1 more hot dog than fish ball. So, 4 is 1 more than 3. We can also see that 3 is 1 less than 4.
Interesting. By comparing the number of strawberries with the number of hot dogs, I can tell that 5 is 1 more than 4, and 4 is 1 less than 5.
Well done, Turbo Boy. To get 1 more than a given number, we count on 1 number. For example, to find 1 more than 7, we count on 1 number from 7 and we get 8. 8 is 1 more than 7.
Okay, I think I understand that. To find 1 less than a given number, I count back 1 number. So, to find 1 less than 7, I count back 1 number from 7 and I get 6. 6 is 1 less than 7.
Good thinking. For being such a smart boy, I'm going to let you start on your meal.
We've come to the end of this lesson. Look at how time flies.
Turbo Boy, can you tell me what you've learned today?
Yes, today we looked at comparing numbers. I learned that when we compare 2 numbers, we find out which number is bigger or smaller than the other. I can do that by drawing squares to represent the numbers and see which number is represented by more squares. The one which has more squares is the bigger number. I've also learned how to find how much bigger or smaller a number is compared to another number. I only need to count the number of blocks that is more or less.
Anything else?
Oh yes, I can find out what is 1 more than a given number by counting on 1 number. I can also find out what is 1 less than a given number by counting back 1 number.
Well done, Turbo Boy. Until the next lesson, goodbye.
Goodbye, teacher.